Hi, I'm Dr. John Demartini, and you're watching For Empowerment.
You've developed some incredible technologies that help transform people's lives. How did this come to be? What was this born out of?
Well, I had a dream since I was 17, after meeting a very inspiring man in Hawaii, to want to become a teacher. And I wanted to travel the world, and I wanted to do what he had done for me, because in one night, this one man, in 1 hour, with one message, awakened inside me a thirst to overcome my learning problems that I had at the time, and also to do something more extraordinary with my life than what I had done. And it was such an inspiring night for me that I thought, wow, I would like to be able to pass the torch and do the same thing that he did for me for as many people as I can around the world. And I set out on a quest to travel the world, step foot in every country I could, and do whatever I could to research human behavior and do what I can to help people do extraordinary things with their life. I've been doing it now for over 44 years, and I'm just as inspired today as I was then to do the same thing, and I love doing it, and I can't think of anything else I'd rather do.
Well, it's an extraordinary mission and purpose, and you'd mentioned a little bit about learning disabilities. You didn't grow up with really any advantages. You know, some people may look at you now and say, oh, well, he's a very successful guy, et cetera, et cetera. You had some challenges growing up, so for you to have become what you are, not only at this level, but also to impact the lives of so many millions, what were the odds of that? Could you please share a little bit more about the challenges you had and what you overcame?
I'm a believer that anything that happens in your life is on the way, not in the way. I didn't have that belief at the time when I was young,
right,
but I certainly developed that. I was born with my arm and leg turned in and had to wear braces on my arm and leg. And that was the perfect thing for me, for what I'm doing today, because that constrained me and I wanted to be free. And so at age 4, when I finally got out of the braces, all I wanted to do is be on the run. And I guess my life is that way today because I have full-time travel and I'm on the run. And then I was found out in first grade that I had learning problems. I was dyslexic and I had difficulty. I couldn't read, I couldn't get meaning, I couldn't understand the words, couldn't pronounce the words, couldn't spell the words, couldn't write in the words. And I had challenges there. I was put in a dunce class at that I think it was about 1960. And but I made it through elementary school with the help of asking questions to the smartest kids. I befriended them and figured out a strategy to survive because I was the only one that didn't have stars on the chart for reading. And so I figured out a strategy to survive. And that worked until I was 12. And then from turning 12, my parents moved from Houston, Texas to Richmond, Texas. And there I didn't have a group of smart kids, and I lived in the country, and I didn't have the same setting, and I ended up being a dropout. So I left school, and I was a street kid, and became sort of a survivor on the streets, and hitchhiked to California and became a surfer. And I then went on to Hawaii and rode big waves in Hawaii. And I nearly died there. And luckily, a lady found me in my tent, nearly dead, and led me to a little health food store, which led me to a special evening class where the gentleman that changed my life was speaking. And in one night, that one man inspired in me a belief that I could overcome my learning problems and eventually become intelligent. I never thought I was going to be intelligent until that night. And with that part of awakening inside me, I was inspired to the idea that maybe I could learn to overcome my challenges and get on with my life. And that was the beginning of a turning point in my life. And I have never stopped since. I've been pretty determined to do what I do, and I can't think of anything else I'd rather do. So I think every one of those steps were necessary components to do what I'm doing today. Because my teacher said he would never be able to read, he'd never be able to write, he'd never be able to communicate, and never go very far in life, and never amount to anything. All 5 of those things is where I've excelled today.
Right.
So I can thank her. If she was alive today, she was up in age then. If she was alive today, I'd go and thank her today.
Wow.
Because she created the void that I needed to want to fulfill that.
Wow, what an extraordinary path, what an extraordinary purpose and mission and destiny.
Well, I'm just very grateful for the opportunities that I get, and I definitely love researching, writing, traveling, and teaching today. That's the things that I love doing best.